Hi, I'm Heather Moreland, a consultant at Community Equipped. The role of the Executive Director in fundraising is a very special one. For smaller organizations who don't have a dedicated development team, the Executive Director is the development team. As the organization grows, the Executive Director remains the leader in establishing and maintaining a culture of fundraising among the board and the staff. In this video, we'll examine the role of the Executive Director and how much time the Executive Director should spend on fundraising, how the Executive Director builds an effective culture of fundraising, and the Executive Director's role in board engagement. The Executive Director is always representing the organization. Your face, your image, your reputation are all entwined with the position as Executive Director. You're the lead spokesperson and embodiment of the organization. This makes you the most important member of any fundraising team, even if you aren't directly involved in every fundraising activity. At least 50 to 60% of your time should be spent on fundraising, which includes relationship building and board engagement. This will never really change even if your organization grows and is able to hire an entire fundraising team. While you may not be comfortable in the role of fundraiser, you have the passion and the vision, and no one else can represent the organization with the same credibility and authenticity that you can. If you're the founding Executive Director, then this organization is your baby, and no one can brag about your baby like you can. Being the face of the organization includes going out to talk to the funding community and building trust within the community that you are serving. One thing you should always have in your back pocket is how the organization is making a positive impact for those that you serve. What story can you tell about your organization? Think of this like a 30-second elevator pitch. The story should demonstrate your belief in your organization and share how your organization is having an impact. This is not your mission statement. Instead, share one brief story about how you are changing the community or the people's lives that you serve. As you share authentically and with passion, this will open up opportunities for more people to naturally discover how they can get involved and how they can contribute to your organization's work. As was mentioned earlier, the Executive Director should be spending about 50 to 60% of their time on fundraising and external community engagement. There's not always pressure on the Executive Director to do this. Typically, organizations that are young or are still led by the founder were founded because the Executive Director has a burning passion and a vision and a wonderful idea for how to strengthen and serve their community. Maybe the Executive Director has a background in social work or education, and the work of leading an organization is entirely new to them, and they're not quite comfortable or confident with it. That's totally normal. Don't panic if that's you. To help the Executive Director, or if that's you, stay on task and really do the engagement and fundraising work that your organization needs you to do to raise the revenue and funds that you need, we highly recommend setting some professional performance goals that are connected to fundraising and community engagement work. For example, set a goal of meeting with new funders or donors once or twice a month. That will help you build your comfort and skill in meeting with new people. You can't guarantee that you'll raise money from them, particularly in that meeting. But we do know that if you continue to do that work, you continue to engage with people, the money and the revenue that you need to provide your services and fulfill your mission will come. So as we've said, executive directors, especially founding executive directors, have so much passion and excitement for the mission and the vision of your work. Congratulations, because this is going to be infectious and contagious. And what an exciting way to spend your time. It's important that the executive director is comfortable networking on behalf of the organization, because even as the organization grows, the executive director remains the leader in establishing a culture of fundraising. An effective culture of fundraising creates a positive environment around fundraising. It fosters high engagement and ultimately leads to increased revenue. Making this happen requires 4 things. First, an effective culture of fundraising is intentional, proactive, and supported by leadership. The executive director is the person who sets the culture by celebrating fundraising successes, laying out clear expectations, and modeling engagement in fundraising activities, even when there are development staff who are leading those activities. Second, an effective culture of fundraising clearly reflects the organizational values. Fundraising activities that feel like they go against the organization's values or mission will quickly disengage the board and the staff. On the other side of that, the board and staff will be very excited and engaged in fundraising activities that have a clear connection to the value and the mission. Third, all board and staff believe fundraising and community engagement is important to fulfilling the mission. The executive director is directly responsible for making sure the board and the staff understand how the mission is impacted by revenue. Fourth, all board and staff members both know and embrace their role in building a culture of fundraising. Not every board and staff member's role will be the same, so it will take time to work to identify the appropriate roles and make sure each person understands and embraces their role. Some ways to make sure board members know and embrace their role is to talk about the importance of fundraising to achieve the mission and the board's role in helping to raise funds when you are recruiting board members. Additionally, create a board job description that includes fundraising expectations. For staff, make sure their job descriptions also include fundraising expectations. Those expectations may be as simple as attending the organization's annual event or tracking data for grant proposals, but they should be included in their job description. Make a clear connection between their work and their fundraising. So we've talked about the executive directors spending 50 to 60% of their time on external engagement, relationship building, fundraising, and meeting with funders. And an important part of this work is board engagement. Board members are also donors, hopefully some of your largest donors. And the executive director has a big responsibility for maintaining positive, exciting, engaged relationships with each board member. One mistake that executive directors often make when engaging the board in fundraising is making the ask for assistance too vague. Most board members really want to be helpful, but they don't know how to help. They're not in the daily work of the organization, so it's not obvious to them what kind of help is needed. Executive directors can solve this in several ways. Always make your ask specific and time restricted. For example, if you're raising sponsorships for a special event, the request to the board members should be something like, please provide 3 potential sponsor contacts by the end of the week. This task feels more achievable and relevant than a general request like, can you please help us secure sponsorships? Report out and celebrate contributions board members are making. If a board member used their network to secure funding, then report that out at a board meeting and to the staff so that everyone knows all the ways the board members are supporting and advocating for the organization. There are many other ways to engage the board in fundraising, but we've found these 2 are the most effective place to start. The executive director is the driving force behind the organization and the most public representative. No one will represent the organization with more passion or vision. As the organization grows, no one will be able to take the place of the executive director in networking or leading an effective culture of fundraising. It can be both exciting and a little intimidating to know you can't be replaced. But by building a strong engagement with the board and staff, you will have a team of organizational cheerleaders ready to join you in the work.